the easy stuff. It's the fun. Really, they brought me in to talk about marketing campaigns that we've been doing at the City of Thousand Oaks. And we integrate our offline and our online campaigns. And we're going to talk a little bit about those and how I measure things with the city. When I started off, way back when, I started off marketing, and you just vomit information at everybody. And of course, they're going to see the wisdom of your ways and immediately change and do what you want. After a little time, I found that that didn't work. No matter how much stats and information and great studies I gave them, it didn't work. Needed to do something else. So here's a little background on where we're coming from at this age. Some of you work in jurisdictions that you may have a dozen different languages and a lot of different demographics. This all still works, but just so you understand as we go through this, City of Thousand Oaks, relatively affluent, educated, built out city. We don't have a lot of growth going on anymore. Strong family values orientation. The biggest, most controversial project was a Hooters restaurant going in. That absorbed a lot of time of staff. Primarily English speaking, and population of about 130,000. The website is the hub of all of our marketing efforts. That really is the key for us because all of these other things change constantly, and it's hard to keep up with, and quite frankly, sometimes we get totally sidetracked. We're staff. And we're trying to do this program, and then all of a sudden this staff person quits and you're doing a whole new program, and all these efforts that you were doing just kind of go by the wayside for 3 months, a year, or whatever, and then you come back to it, and the website is our hub. Offline calls to action, that means our offline advertising. Our goal is to get them to our website, or at least collect an email address. Desired action for everything, sign up for notifications. I want their email. That is what I'm doing throughout all of my advertising. I am trying to collect their email. And so I can get back to them later on. I can then do push marketing. If I just put ads in the paper, I have to put ads in the paper the next time. I have to put ads in the paper the next time, year after year after year. If it's passive online, I've got this beautifully designed website, but they have to go in and search for it. So they have to go in and search for my information and go to it. A year ago, we had an issue where we had an event. We've been advertising for it online, offline, come to our event. We get 2,000 people there. It's a community cleanup day. It's a very narrow access road. And then we found out that the Park Service booked a statewide soccer tournament at the same time, using the same site. And I had a week, 3 or 4 weeks to go. Our event has been done there for a dozen years. People go to it. It's very well attended, and it's difficult traffic-wise when it's just us. Now we've got the statewide soccer tournament there as well, all going through the same access road. I had, at that time, probably 4,000 emails, 5,000 emails I was able to email out and start diverting people away. So that's the value of having emails collected. You're able to do push marketing, particularly in urgent situations. Cross-promote. You see a lot of brochures out there, and we've still got a lot of them. It's got grass cycling, or it's got food waste, or whatever, but it doesn't cross-promote to your other things. And so I'm trying to get a call to action here of sign up, go to our website for more information. And eliminate brochures, the paper info. We still have to have them, but we could sure do with a lot less of them. And I use an opt-out versus opt-in. I'll explain that later on. And measure advertising effectiveness. Current website, in full disclosure, Erica and Stephen Brunner Associates designed this. Erica was our project manager. Now I do want to be clear. You can see right here kind of this part of the website. That is our website here and right here. This part is the city site. We could not touch that. We had to go within their framework. Here we can put our little graphics. Here I can design my own flyaways. And here's my content. This is actually a WordPress site that is hosted offline, embedded in here, into the Civica content management system. So there's actually 2 content management systems here. And if you were to click on this, you would go off to our blog area, newsfeed. We even termed it newsfeed because we didn't want to say blog, because I thought I might get in trouble with the administration. Split testing, Erica mentioned, I think AB split testing, or Bob did earlier, and that's really what this is. So we're using Facebook advertising quite a bit for our marketing. And what I wanted to show you here, in the value of split testing, there are 2 ads here you can see. Ad right here, ad right here. These are essentially the same ads, except this one says free event, City of TO free event. This one says City of Thousand Oaks. Free versus Thousand Oaks, only difference, all this other content picture is the same. So I'm going to ask you, and you're going to have to actually show me your hand, so you got to pay attention to this. Is City of Thousand Oaks more important? Free event more important? Or does it really make much of a difference? And I know I'm testing this. So for those of you that like City of Thousand Oaks, raise your hands. Those of you that like free event, those that don't make much of a difference. Change things here. Free, 239 clicks versus 4 clicks. So what does that tell us? That tells us if we don't test our marketing, Tony, or your boss there, we don't test our marketing, and I was to do Thousand Oaks, I got 4 clicks, well, I still paid the same amount of money. This one I got 239, I was able to shut it down on this one, and I no longer use that. So now my marketing's improved a little bit, because I've got this piece of information. It appears free is good. Now that's not always the case, it could change in a different test. Facebook split test ad only. Put a picture here of chemicals, it actually looks more impressive on the site. And here I just threw our logo in. So the picture's the only difference in advertising our materials reuse program. And those are always hard to, for your household hazardous waste folks, material reuse, you give away the chemicals again. It's kind of hard to explain, come here, get free hazardous waste, right? So it's not a real intuitive thing for the public that this is good. So here I'm saying free pool, spa, chemicals, caulk, sealers, etc. from the city. Here I've got our logo, say the same thing. So again, free pool house chemicals with the picture there. So who likes the chemical picture? Who likes the logo? And who thinks doesn't make much of a difference? Okay, we see the chemical in this one. And here, the logo wins. So, yeah, what? So we, as testers, we don't know. And one of the resources to back of this is marketingsherpa.com. And I go online to these webinars with thousands of marketing professionals, and they ask the same question. And all these marketers are going this way and that way, and they're professionals working full-time just as marketers, and they do not pick it. And the moral of the story or whatever is, you got to test this stuff because you don't know. You got to test, and you got to test frequently. So we had 67 clicks versus 2. Frequency of hits in there, 12.3 versus 3, so almost 400%. Now here, that's in a different one. I'll show you. So I'm going to go back to one of our programs, Household Hazardous Waste, because our Household Hazardous Waste program offered us a golden opportunity. We have people register. We run it monthly, and they have to register to come in because we want to try and not have 2-hour-long lines. Typically, we had 300-400 plus cars per month. 11 events annually, and at that time, they called in, registered, and an appointment card was sent out. We had a 30% no-show rate. If you get the card 3 months or 3 weeks beforehand, you forget. I mean, it's just happens, I do all the time. So we changed it. We had a registration, online registration, actually 3 years ago. So they registered online through Constant Contact, and 48 hours before the event, an email went out to them saying, hey, you registered for this event. And it reduced our no-show rate by 50%. Huge change for us there. One thing that by having people call in over the phone, they would tell us our address was 3 Miramosa. And I had, sometimes it was a contractor staff and sometimes it was our staff, but can you repeat that please? And after a while you just kind of guess at it. And we actually contract with Camarillo and unincorporated area to take their folks in. And if they can't read the address, they're not paying. So I eat $70 for every bad address here. So I really want to know the address. And it turns out people can type their own address. They know it and can spell it, usually. So it really helped a lot in validating addresses for us too. Quicker check-in, save about $10,000 in those costs. More importantly, it forces them to give us some data. This is my opportunity that they're filling out an online registration. They do not get to finish this until they give me data. They're giving me age I made optional, but I wanted to see if I'm getting the right demographics. Am I excluding a certain constituency, like maybe some older folks, like my dad, he's a computer. I wanted to check type of residence, how many times they participated, call-ins. In call-ins, we start filling out the form for them and just asking their address. What is your email address? And sometimes they refused. More often than not, we're able to get it. And here's my registration report. Now I'll let you 10 seconds to read that. Here is essentially how you have to do it in Constant Contact. These are our total counts per 15-minute segment. And we manually shut this down. So we have to kind of keep watch on this. We try and get about 100 cars an hour in there. And here is the marketing survey. They tell us, I saw it through the Acorn ad, I saw it through the city website, past participation, etc. They're telling us how they got to our place here and started registering. And this is key for us. In here, let's see, November 2011. So Acorn ad, 86. Here, Ventura County Star ad, 11. Mailer insert, 55. They're going through our media and telling us what's working for them. Now, there is some mix-up, right? Because they probably got an insert, they probably got the ad in the Acorn or whatever, so they may have seen it 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times over a number of months. They may also be past participants and saw it in different things. So this is not pure, but it's a good indicator for us. We had a 22% increase in participation through these techniques because at that time we started emailing out. We had more people showing up because of the reminder card. But we had some questions on it. Who was calling and why? Am I leaving out that older demographic and just hitting the younger crowd? Are the Ventura County Star, our local paid paper, disproportionately elder, and so they're not going online and registering, so am I leaving that segment out? So I have to continue advertising in the Star. Do the online registrants just select the Acorn because it's first on the list so then they can move on and blow by my survey and kind of ignore me. And then the newspaper lady came by and said, but the cumulative impressions, so you can't really count these results and force us to, live up to that. You need to, they could have seen it in ours and then put down that they searched on the web. Well, our marketing report here is we try and quantify this. Again, there are some things that we can't really do. Here's my ad. It costs $305. I got, in this one, I had 5 registrants, so it cost me $61 per person to come in there. A week later, 8 people registered, $38, 15 people, $20, 19, 16, and it's going down. So I'm finding out a few things here. One is the Acorn, the closer I run the ad to the actual date, the better return on my investment I'm going to have. So if I've got very limited money, I want to run a week or 2 beforehand. That's all I can do. Then I also compare over here, Ventura County Star, registrants, $44 per registrant. Take the same cost, whatever their cost of ad is, and compare it. One of the questions I had, how about my first and second timers? If they've been 10 times, I don't really care, right? They can find their way back to my program. But it's the first and second timers that I'm interested in. Well, it turns out on here, is it first and second time? $213 for the star per registrant. Over here, somewhere it's like 20 bucks, 1958. We no longer advertise in the star. How am I able to tell this? I drove them online. I have them tell me how they're hearing about it as part of my survey, and then I'm tracking their results. Ad costs this much, I got this many registrants. So Happenings Magazine was another one, $200 per registrant. Boom, they're gone. Star is gone. We advertise in the Acorn, we advertise on Facebook now. But as you can see, here's our latest one. Most of them city website, 95. Mailers, inserts, email from city, 42. A lot of the emails that we're sending out now, we're getting our registrants. Ventura County Star says 24. We haven't advertised in Star in 12 or 18 months. So maybe they're historical. Maybe they think they saw it there, but maybe, who knows. So again, not 100% accurate. Here's split testing of offline ads. Old ad, new ad, register online. This is what we're trying to force it to. Online, smaller here. And only a 22% correlation between the money spent in registrations, all these things. Smaller ad, 46% first-time registrants. Larger ad, 74%, so we had a 60% increase. These are all driving online. I want to hit opt-in versus opt-out real quick. And this comes from a Dan O'Reilly TEDx video. And if you haven't seen it, it is phenomenal. It's great education for any marketer. And he's talking about opt-in versus opt-out. If you're not familiar with it, opt-in is where you voluntarily check the box and say, I will participate. Opt-out is you check the box, say, I do not want to participate. So in all of our activities, we use opt-out. So they have to go down and they check a box when they're registering online. So they have to check the box and say, I don't want your email updates. They have to check the box when we're doing hard copy type things, and we're for some reason collecting their information saying we don't want to receive it. And that is what has allowed us, I think, really to grow. Dan O'Reilly, here he's showing you a visual. I'm not going to go through the details. You really should watch his talk. These are opt-in. These are opt-out on organ donations. And you can see many, many, many examples of this throughout, but I mean, huge differences. And then he points out that Netherlands is an opt-out, but they mailed letters to every residence in Netherlands begging them to participate. And so they got a 28% rate. So, opt-out. Email campaigns, we're on almost up to 7,000. Again, we're a population of less than 130,000, 44,000 residences, give or take. Not all of those certainly are within the city, but the majority are because we're just mailing about city stuff. Industry average, about 22% for open and click-through of 14. We're about double that. And I try and keep it relevant to what they do and what they want. They're really wanting information about community cleanup day, free this, free that. And then I also try and insinuate a little subversive information that I want to get to them. But I don't oversell it, so I don't want them opting out, and generally we've been pretty successful. We have 5 to 15 opt-out per mailing, and we make sure we clean our lists. So another thing I try and do is stand out on how we do our ads. Test frequently, collect emails, resources. I want to give you a few resources here if you really get interested in marketing. And I forgot to put the address here, No BS Marketing. Clayton Makepeace is copywriting, Flint McLaughlin testing. Free webinars, just phenomenal webinars through Marketing Experiments, marketingsherpa.com, where you can learn all types of marketing. And I actually called them up and was interested in working with them. You got to sign a 6-month commitment, $15,000 a month. we didn't move forward with that petition.